Everybody, what's going on? All right, so this is the gut-body connection. Why our digestion impacts our brain, liver, hormones, etc. But it's either the source of power and energy or the source of sickness. So whatever we're dealing with, a lot of times you can look to the gut. Go there. This is a recorded video. The link lets you see this and all the other subjects they see. Ask anything.
To disrupt
Right.
the balance, right?
Sure.
So you have all types of good and bad pathogenic and good healthy bacteria in your stomach, including yeast and viruses.
Right. So if your gut if your microbiome is imbalanced, the harmful bacteria produce enzymes that reactivate estrogen instead of eliminating it.
Gotcha.
So this was something I was kind of doing a deeper dive when I was doing my research. Yeah. So your bad bacteria in there produce enzymes. Well, you know this in beta glucuronidase.
Oh, sure.
So the harmful bacteria will produce that typically, and that reactivates the estrogen instead of eliminating it, and then it's back in that circle, right? And estrogen just builds up. So again, that's having a imbalanced microbiome. So again, like I said, estrogen gets reabsorbed back into circulation. So what does this create? Now, wait a minute, I'm just going to speak to you on this because I feel like we relate to this so much. Okay, we get our hormone imbalance. What happens there? Weight gain. Where? Especially around the belly.
Yeah.
Okay, this is like horrible for us. We hate it. PMS, right? Your perimenopause symptoms. These are escalated. And I've had a point where I can tell when my estrogen gets too high. I know 100% the certain symptoms that come into play. And I will say our hormonal balance has been amazing for me. Just slide that one in there.
Yeah.
And we get inflammation. So very nasty things that can happen if we're not addressing, again, going back to our gut to make sure it is actually helping the liver and do what it's supposed to do and excreting our hormones. And just to pull in why I brought in detox, because we talk about detoxing all the time.
Sure.
We not just us, like everybody wants a detox. What is this little detox program? Or you see these juice cleanses that are like these 3-day detoxes. They're marketing for this, marketing for that, all over social media. Excuse me. But if your gut isn't eliminating, you're not detoxing. What's happening is your toxins are recirculating into your system. And that's a very bad thing. So we need to make sure this whole chain of reactions is taking place so our bodies can properly detox. Like we detox on a regular basis, every single day. This is what our body is doing. But if we're not taking care of each system involved, the proper detox is not going to happen. And like in this case, your toxins go back in and start recirculating. So your liver processes your hormones, but your gut decides if they leave the body. Right? So again, how important is this gut of ours? You have a sluggish gut, your detox system's backed up. I mean, regardless. So root causes of this. Why is this so common? And it is so very common. One thing is most doctors aren't tying it back to the gut, right? So we try, you go to a specific doctor, like I'm just saying GI because, we're talking about the gut, but you go to a GI doc because it's something. And they're not taking the steps back to make sure you're doing everything else properly. But root cause why? Low fiber diet. This is a major one. A low fiber diet is so big. I mean, we've been, for years, doctors talked about fiber. I remember from the day I could remember my dad taking Metamucil, which thank goodness he doesn't take that stuff anymore. He takes our fiber. But you need to be having enough fiber in your diet every single day.
Yeah.
Processed foods. Which is another thing. If we're eating processed foods, not only are they wrecking our body, they're not rich in fiber, regardless. Chronic stress. It's hard because our way, especially in America, is we're overworked and overstressed, and it's hard. So it's something you have to focus on and work on. Chronic antibiotic use. This is still a big one, even though I feel like so much information is out there that we don't just jump to an antibiotic because of how damaging it can be for how it wrecks your gut, basically kills all the good stuff. But still, if you go to the doctor for something, you're still more than likely to be put on an antibiotic.
Yeah.
and, rather than try to wait and let your body do what it's designed to do and fight it off.
Right.
Now, there's a time and a place for an antibiotic. I'm not like, shunning them completely, but I'm talking about overuse. And then toxins, or toxic exposure.
Sure.
Which is everything. And I was just listening to a podcast about, and I know you talk about this a lot, but about why Florida is so bad with the toxin, because the golf courses. And they're saying it's not just like if you're golfing, if you're living by one, if you have the water runoff. They're saying it's in the air, just because how heavily treated our golf courses are. So it was like, what were they saying? They were saying in Florida they're seeing numbers of manganese extremely high, which is is very abnormal.
Right.
But they're saying it comes from the toxins.
Yeah.
That was just a side note. Yeah. So we're not like lacking in solutions of what do we do. We're lacking in a healthy gut environment and the education that is surrounded by it. So I'm going to talk about quick, simple fixes, and we'll wrap it up. How to help this with Live Good. Now, what do I have here? Okay, we have our probiotic gut support. And I still, when we train on this, I'm trying so hard, I don't want to be pushy, but let everybody understand that our probiotic gut support is so necessary for everybody. And this is why when I decided to do the foundational 5-pack, this is something that I feel is so important that everybody should be doing every single day. I feel the foundational 5-pack of ours is where...
All right, everybody, I'll cut this short here. I gotta take off. Actually, a client's gonna be here. But this, what I like about them is they'll give you the information, then they provide the supplements to help with the information they just gave. Now, if our diets were like Loctite solid, yeah, that would be good. But things like probiotic gut support, we have to look at, what's cool? Look at the ingredients in these. Look at the ingredients in everything they make. The ingredients in it are the ideal foods if we can get them from foods. The ideal foods that if those were in our body, that would clean us out. So what they have are ideal, like the factor 4 different anti-inflammatories. If we had those ideal foods, yeah, we would be good. Magnesium, that's in a lot of foods. Fiber is in a lot of foods. But sometimes you don't want to eat, you just don't want to eat that much. You're like, I'm so sick of eating. But you don't want to eat that much, or you just keep it steady. I don't think you need to go crazy every day. I think we just need to realize where toxins come from. I can't cover that now, but they can come from unbelievable amount of areas to where you say just eating, can my body, is that even enough? If so, you look at all the sickness, I would just say cancers and stuff. How is that one of the biggest businesses if our bodies can handle everything they need to handle? So you bump it up a little bit and then go from there. But the link is when you go to the website, the link is there. The tour link lets you, all you really want to do is get the free information from them. So you use that tour link. You can put first name, last initial. If you have a business, put it under business name, something like that. They just want to be able to email you information. No credit cards, none of that. And then you can see all this. Then you can get a bigger idea of what they're about. All right, everybody, be good.